The most common misconception about my clothes is that they're expensive. A lot of people assume that if you have this like nice big vintage closet or you're like spending all this money, but really that's not true. I shop at all the same stores that you shop at. I shop at H&M, I shop at Primark. I get my stuff for cheap, cheap, cheap. I still happen to look expensive and a bit elevated in the clothes that I wear, and there are a lot of little things that I do to make sure that that's possible. So here is the video on how to look expensive but on a budget. The first things first is I really like to invest in natural fibers and thicker materials. And a lot of people assume that you have to shop at these like high-end stores in order to get good quality. I think that's one of the biggest misconceptions about fashion. People think that the more expensive, the higher the quality, but that's not always the case. It's really important to pay attention to the composition of the materials that your clothes are made of. You always want to lean more towards natural fibers like cotton and wool, and not necessarily stay away from synthetic fibers. I know a lot of people are like, I hate polyester or whatever, but I feel like all materials serve a purpose. If you want a nice, breathable, lightweight cotton button down, you're gonna need a natural fiber like cotton to make that possible. If this shirt was made of polyester, it probably wouldn't be as structured or as breathable as this one. But a polyester button down isn't terrible. You can always use a polyester button down to layer on top of things. But for me, if I know I'm not layering and I just kind of want to wear a top like this out, I'll always try and make sure that it has some cotton. It doesn't have to be 100% cotton, but if you have the option of having a 50% polyester, 50% cotton shirt in comparison to a 100% polyester shirt, please go for the one that contains more natural fibers. They last longer, they're more breathable, and they're higher quality. A lot of the brands that are super expensive but make pretty low-end clothes are brands that are associated with a celebrity, and they can get away with it because they're like a name brand. But try not to be sucked into those traps. Always, always, always look at the material composition of everything you wear. For me, especially during this time, I love thicker, more structured materials. Like, I think for a top, I like structure in my top, but in my coats, I like thick coats. I feel like thick coats definitely make a statement just because of the mass and the size of it, and also because they are so thick, they keep you warmer. And like I said, having that thickness gives you more structure, and I feel like structure and not having your clothes sag and droop is a really good way to look expensive on a budget. H&M is usually where I go to if I'm trying to find basics that are not so expensive but still really good quality. The second thing that I look for is my jewelry. Obviously, you guys know, it is no secret, I love gold jewelry. But the type of gold that I use is a very specific type of gold. I love a more neutral, a more yellow gold. Not too yellow, because I feel like if it's too yellow, it'll look brassy and start looking fake. But you want a nice neutral yellow gold, and that's kind of what all of my jewelry kind of looks like. There is another type of gold. There is green gold. Green gold is not the type of gold that you want. Green gold kind of has this kind of coppery tint to it. Kind of reminds me of like an old penny. You know, with an old penny, there are like green stuff coming out of old pennies, and I feel like that doesn't really look good. It reminds me of things that are like cheap in quality and just overall not a good look. So I feel like for me, I always like to gravitate towards more neutral, more yellow gold, and I always like to look at the hardware of the things that I wear, like my buttons on my tops or the metals in my bag, to make sure that the gold in it is a nice yellow neutral gold and not a green gold. You always want to avoid green gold. Green gold definitely looks cheap, it looks inexpensive, and it does not look good. So please stay away from that greenish gold tint. If you're a silver girl, you won't really have this issue because silver is silver. You always kind of want a silver that looks less like plastic and has more sparkle to it. Banter jewelry has really good, nice silver jewelry. It's pretty inexpensive there compared to other jewelry stores, so I would highly recommend if silver jewelry is more your vibe. Another thing that I wear, this one is not so strict because I still wear the latter, but in my opinion, dark wash denim over light wash denim. Dark wash has a nice nice rich color to it that kind of makes your overall look way more elevated and expensive in contrast to light wash. The light wash indicates that it has been used multiple times, washed multiple times, and the original color is fading. And that kind of gives the illusion of something that is worn out and inexpensive. So for me, when it comes to jeans, I'm always gravitated more towards dark wash denim. It looks better on my skin because I have like deeper skin. So a deep skin, darker denim, match made in heaven. But just because I prefer dark denim doesn't mean I never wear light denim. I do love light denim and I wear light denim from time to time, but I'm seeing myself as I get older gravitate more towards a darker denim. I just feel like it has such a nice chic, rich look, especially like skinny jeans that are dark wash. I love skinny jeans that are dark wash. Where to get dark wash denim for cheap? Literally H&M. Like literally, this sounds like an H&M ad, but I'm really not kidding. I just shop there all the time. It's the perfect place for basics and it's so accessible because there is a store in every city in every area. So, and not only do they have like a nice store, they have like a really nice online store. So it's just where I go. It's so funny, the evolution of H&M, because it didn't always used to look like that. Like the H&M I remember from a kid was very much equivalent to like a Forever 21. But nowadays I would say H&M is more equivalent to like a Zara. Welcome to day 8 of 12 days of Chinelo-HO. Here's the giveaway. Before we start, here is the winner of yesterday's giveaway. In today's video, I'm gonna be giving away a $40 Amazon gift card. All you have to do to enter is subscribe to my YouTube channel, follow me on Instagram and TikTok, which is at Coco Chinelo, and then answer the question I asked in the comments below. And after your comment, make sure to put your Instagram handle so I know how to contact you if you win. You're gonna find out who won the giveaway in tomorrow's YouTube video. Yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoy and let's continue the video. And last but not least, the most important thing that you need to remember if you are trying to look expensive on a budget is to wear clothes that fit you. Here are some signs that your clothes don't fit you. If you're wearing jeans and you're noticing that there is tightness around the thighs, but not so much around the bottom of your leg, that is a sign that your clothes don't fit you. If you can see kind of the material start stretching, your clothes don't fit you. You need a bigger size. Also, if you are experiencing long crotch, that is a sign that your clothes don't fit you. It's okay to have like long crotch like a little bit, like it doesn't necessarily need to be in your hoo-ha, I'm not saying that, but like long crotch to an extent, okay, but there comes a certain point where the long crotch is just too long and you're just like, oh my God, please, I can't do this. So you don't want that. If you're wearing jeans and they're high-waisted and you're noticing that there's a gap at the waist, that's a sign that your clothes do not fit you. And last but not least, if you're wearing a shirt and your tatas are compressed. You can tell your girls are being compressed too much is if you turn to the side and you see that they're lifted up top. And because they're so lifted, they kind of have like a curve of cleavage above. I'm not saying cleavage is bad, but there shouldn't be such a, because I feel like for regular boobs, there's kind of supposed to be like flat at the top and kind of curved at the bottom. But if you're noticing that there's a curve at the bottom and at like the top of your boob, that's kind of a sign that your boobs are probably being compressed too much and that may need like a bigger size. And by me saying this, I don't mean that like you always need to be wearing something that's fitted. Oversized stuff can still fit you really well. A really bad example of clothes that is oversized but poorly made is the Kai leather coat. You can tell that the oversized is way too oversized because the shoulders are drooping and the shoulders are way too broad for anyone's shoulders. Not only are the shoulders way too broad, but the sleeve length is way too long. The upper body of the coat is just way too big to the point where it kind of swallows you. Kylie's the only person that I've seen the coat look good on because she has a pretty heavy bottom half. And I feel like you're going to need that in order for the coat to look good on you because it cinches the waist. But if you're someone who doesn't have such like an extreme like Coke bottle body and kind of just look regular, it's not the type of oversized that will look good on you. So yes, you want oversized clothes, but you don't want your oversized clothes to be swallowing you. And yeah, that's it. Those are the most important things that I look out for to make sure that I look good on a budget. A lot of these tricks that I told you about, they don't even require shopping at like a lower end store. It's just more so knowing what to look for when you're shopping, knowing what is good material, good quality, and knowing what is bad quality. Because I feel like once you have that discernment, you're able to make better decisions about the clothes that you buy. Because a lot of the time, people are spending way too much money on clothes that aren't even good. You want to get the most bang out of your buck. So those are some tips that I do to make sure that I'm shopping smarter and I can get the most bang out of my buck, which would then help me look more expensive while on a budget. So yeah, I hope this video was informative and helpful, and I'll see you in my next one.